it's a really great service, so we switched to it a few months ago. But anyways, welcome to my brand new training, Bold Business Builder Basics. And I am so fired up, guys, about this training, because more than anything, I'm just so passionate about Advocare and what it does for other families. And Brett and I still wake up every day just so grateful and honestly in awe at the life that Advocare has allowed our funky family to live today. And it just fuels us so much to help other people have what we have, and to make all of their goals and dreams come true. So with that, my training tonight is, just like the title implies, it's going to be a little more bolder. I'm going to be even a lot more real and kind of tell it like it is, because that's just my personality. But I think that if you're on this tonight, it's because you are looking at making some big changes in your life. And so hopefully the title, Bold, was a good sign that, okay, this is for people who are serious. This is for people who are serious about bringing in some extra income for their family and really treating this like a business. So we're going to go ahead and move right into this. I hope you have a journal. And Advo Nation taught me well. I'm trying to be less reliant on slides here and just speak from my heart. So there's not tons of text on my slides like my trainings from the past, but I think you're going to get some great nuggets tonight. So, one of my first things I was thinking about is that bold changes demand bold actions. And guys, I'm just going to quickly kind of share our story. 4.5 years ago, we were first introduced to Advocare, and I'll kind of weave that in a little bit later, but we said no for a full year. And, thank God, my friend from college, Jason Miller, continued to circle back around and share with strength. But, when we finally hit rock bottom financially, and that picture on the left is my daughter Alexi and I, and honestly, this is the mirror that I literally stared deep within my soul on the night that I hit rock bottom. And on this night, our house was on the brink of foreclosure. I had 3 jobs. One is a full-time teacher, part-time professor. I had a cookie business. And so I baked cookies 7 nights a week. We were struggling just to even put $5 of gas on our car. All of our credit cards had been shut off. We were going to 4 different cash advance locations at this time. No one knew about our problems, so that brought a lot of fighting and arguing with Brett about money and the debt collectors that were calling. And we had made several bankruptcy appointments and just couldn't follow through. But on this night, on Lexi's birthday, this is when it rocked me to my core, our situation, because we had to tell our daughter that we couldn't take her out to celebrate her birthday. And guys, all she wanted to go to was Steak and Shake, which is not an expensive place to eat. And, we literally had no money until one of us got paid for a couple days. And so that was my come to Jesus moment, that I knew that we had to change something. And, thank God Jason Miller, was there a couple weeks later, ran into him at a cookout. And, he shared the business with strength. And let that be a huge nugget, because, Jason Miller, he never brought products to me. Although I think our products are amazing, but he always shared the business with strength. And, thank God that he had never quit. And I know he had a rough time building this, just like we all do. We all go through the same, trials and tribulations, but thank God he never quit. Because of that, he was able to bring, help and hope to my family, which is now, reached almost 7,000 families in our organization today. So, so that's just a picture of that, and there on the right, and I'll talk a little bit more about our life today at the end, but, there's my family, and, before Advocare, and let me tell you, we were so, those are fake smiles right there. That was a trip that we only got to go on because my in-laws for Christmas would give us a gift certificate so that we could go somewhere for a vacation, because we could never afford vacations of our own. And so this was a Hocking Hills trip. They had given us a certificate for a 2-night stay, and just was degrading, year after year, not being able to even pay for a vacation for our family, was awful. And so I don't know if you listened to Richard Wright's, the awesome training today, but, he had a great quote, look in the mirror and ask, would you follow you? And I'm going to be real honest. When I looked in that mirror on Lexi's birthday, I was disgusted with who I was. But when I decided to lock arms with Jason a few months later, I was ready to go to work. I was ready to fight, and make this happen for my family. I was ready to fight and get off of making cookies 7 nights a week. And I was not scared to work, because that's all I've done my whole life. And, the beauty of AdvoCare, though, is that it's not another job. And I love that AdvoCare just works right into your life. And so we'll talk a little bit tonight about being intentional, because if you can get really good at being a multitasker and kind of having AdvoCare, embracing it as a way of life, I'm telling you what, you can change a lot of lives. And that's what we've done. And so, I'll be honest, I've had a lot of fears in my life, and, silly fears, and, stupid ones, guys, like driving on the freeway. I know that sounds ridiculous, but I'm proud to say I've actually conquered that one recently. But, I have some silly fears, and poor Brett has to put up with them. But you know what? You know how I've overcompensated for that is by stepping out and being a bold person, and, just really, having the courage anyways, even though I know that I have fears, by just kind of putting myself out there. And so we're just going to kind of talk about, what does it even mean to be bold? And I really think a lot of our success in AdvoCare has to do with our embracing of, our boldness, and just really putting ourselves out there. And, I do believe that, success in any part of life is so much in the mind and in your head. And so the sooner that we can help people understand that your success really starts and stops with you and your mindset and your belief in yourself. And so it's okay to have fears in AdvoCare. A lot of people saw me, conquer a huge one at Advo Nation a few weeks ago. And trust me, this has been a journey. But because of my boldness and because of my just determination, to take risks anyways and be courageous and be bold, it's helped me grow stronger over the years in AdvoCare. And so, if you can just understand, wherever you are right now in your journey, that you're going to have to do things that are uncomfortable, but you just have to do them anyways, because your embracing of the uncomfortable parts of AdvoCare are what is going to help set other people free. And I'll tell you what, you've already proven that you're bold. You know why? Because you've already gotten involved with something different. And so just signing up and becoming a part of AdvoCare, right there, you're already bold, which is awesome. Because, a lot of people, say no to direct sales, or have, and are skeptical, just like I was. So give yourself a pat on the back for that. And, just also being bold means, having a strong or vivid appearance. And for those of you guys that know me, I've always overcompensated, with my boldness that way. What I lack, all my fears are kind of overshadowed by the brightness and the boldness of my crazy socks, and, just some of the things that, I like to do. I love color. I love being surrounded by color, because colors are bright and cheerful. And I think other people are attracted to color too. And, so I hope you even noticed I got a little different vibe going on tonight with my slides. And so, when I was thinking about bold, as we kind of move into the training, I came up with this little acrostic that I think kind of sums it up perfectly in Advocare. You know, it all starts with your belief, in yourself, with your belief in other people, because that's what we really get paid to do. Is we get paid to help pour life and believe into other people before they believe in themselves. And you know, that's what Jason did for me, and that's what I get the privilege and honor to do today for others. But again, it all starts with you. And I'll tell you, one of the greatest things of Advocare, as I'm sure you guys already know, is the people and the positivity. And the more you surround yourself with that, and the more you fuel yourself every day by maybe reading some, you know, leadership books, that is going to help you develop more belief in yourself. And so that is a vital part of this. And I'll tell you, I didn't believe I was good at selling things when I started Advocare, but I believed in Jason, and I believed that he really was true to his word, and he was going to help me, and that he was going to be the movie, and I was just going to be the preview. And so that's an important part of being bold and, you know, taking ownership. Guys, from day one, when I decided that I was doing Advocare, I became the CEO of my Advocare business. And I mean, how amazing that in Advocare, you come in at the top. You know, so many of us work in careers and places where we'll never make it to the top. And you get to start at the top in Advocare. And I love that. And, you know, my husband actually was the one that kind of came up with that. I love that. And so, you know, embrace that. But with that comes great responsibility. And so again, I'm assuming you're on this tonight because you're looking for bold changes in your life. And so I can speak to you candidly that in order to make, you know, big income in Advocare, you're gonna have to treat this like a business. You're gonna have to go to work every single day and embrace Advocare as a way of life. And so, you know, I've got some slides in here that'll help kind of illustrate that. But also, you know, being bold means that you're willing to lead. And, you know, from the very, very beginning, you know, I was kind of the mother hen of the people that were joining me. And I'm going to be real honest, for months, I, you know, just had product users because I hid behind the products. And so, you know, you kind of attract who you are. And so because I was hiding behind the products, I wasn't necessarily attracting business builders. And the good thing is, though, that I was very passionate about educating and leading my product users on a journey with Advocare. And so that allowed, you know, them to see that I was serious about this and that I was someone that they could trust if they were going to get involved with the business, which thankfully did happen about 4 months in. And the last part, you know, you have to decide that you are all in and that you will never, ever quit. And I'm going to be 100%, you know, honest in saying, and I don't have the picture, but I, you know, like I told you, I said no to this for a full year, you guys. But when I decided on a boat with my sister and my mom that I was sick and tired of being sick and tired and broken, making excuses for my life, when I decided that I was doing Advocare, I knew that day that I would never quit, that it didn't matter how hard it was going to be, that I was going to do this, and I was not going to let my children see me fail, and I was not going to let the people who were taking a chance on the products and who were taking a chance on me, I was not ever going to fail them. And so you have to have that decided heart. I think that is so important. And, you know, we're all on a different journey. But once you know, make that decision, it's such a relief, I'm telling you, because even through the ups and downs of building my business, I've always had the consistency of knowing that no matter what, I would never quit. So I knew even in the low times of this business that I just had to get better because I wasn't going to quit. And so have that decided heart. All right, so what I've got here are 12 kind of key things, and I picked 12 kind of strategically because, you know, Brett and I are diamond leaders. We were able to, you know, achieve that in about 17 months. And so, you know, I thought it's 12 families that we've poured into. Today we're up to about 14 or 15. It's really exciting. And, we're just, again, so blessed for what we get to do. But, think about that. 12 families, to get to Diamond is what it takes. And, it's just crazy to me to think that, when we hit Diamond, I think we probably had about, 4,000 people in our organization at that time. And that all started with those kind of 12 people. And that's the craziness and the awesomeness of this business, is that if you do it the right way, that you will be able to duplicate yourself through other people. And so I am so passionate about teaching people how to do AdvoCare the right way and set them up and their teams up for success. So here's my first one. I will boldly share AdvoCare I gotta grab my water, sorry. Every single day consistently, okay? I'm telling you what, this is number one for a reason. This is the number one thing to do from the beginning. And I'm telling you what, this is the key to everything, to unlocking your family's dreams. If you can just get good at holding yourself accountable and making a point every single day to share AdvoCare and circle back around to the people that ignore you, because it's going to happen, and circle back around to the people that show interest, but you haven't heard from them, because that's going to happen. Circle back around to the people that tell you no, because that's going to happen. The average person needs about 7 exposures to AdvoCare before they're willing to get involved. Now, hopefully they're not as stubborn as me, because I took about 12. But again, think about that. Think about if, Jason wouldn't have put me on a list and circled back around sharing AdvoCare. Now, this is my little nerdy chart that I made back in the day. I love this because I'm a person that I like to challenge myself. And, again, you're only competing with yourself in AdvoCare. And so my goal every day was to share with 3 people. But I always did more than that, because I'm an overachiever. And you know what? I was around a lot of people. I was a busy woman. I was, running 4 kids around at night to all their different sports. I was delivering cookies. I was the PTO president. I was around a lot of people. And so right there, if you want to move quickly in AdvoCare, then you need to be bold, and you need to put yourself in situations where you are around people. And if you are not in those situations, then you need to pick up the phone and boldly call people and, bring AdvoCare into their life. And so my goal was 3, and then, I have my little thing here. What's 3 more? Double the fun, double the impact, and then I would some days try to get to, 9 or 10. And this was just a way of encouraging myself. And I'm telling you what, this is a numbers business. And so the more seeds you plant, the more people you share with, the more you're going to increase your chances of one of those seeds sprouting. Okay. So figure out a system for you. And, Brett and I have some new advisors right now, and they all have their own little system, and it's so cute. And, some of them have like a little notebook, and, we've really modeled the power of 3 and sharing with at least 3 people a day. Some of them have gone to the little tracker that you can get from championmakers.com, from Danny and Diane's site, and they love using that. Some of them are just using a little program in their computer. Whatever it is, you have got to employ yourself and hold yourself accountable and pick a number and be consistent and not let yourself go to bed until you have hit that number, okay? And guys, there were nights that I didn't hit my number, and so you know what I did? I went to Facebook, and I would dig through and do a little stalking, and I would send a private message or 2 to the people, to get to my number. And I would, of course, reconnect and give them a compliment first, and then I would, mention AdvoCare and plant a seed that way. All right, but don't do that as your only way every day. This is definitely, I think, a sharing in person. People can see your heart and hear your passion through your voice, in person and over the phone. All right, number 2, I will boldly share why I'm doing AdvoCare with people. Guys, you have got to tell people why you're doing AdvoCare. You have to be transparent, okay? And as my great leader, Holly Yount, says, your why should be something that makes you cry. And, my why in the beginning was that stupid cookie business that sucked away 30 hours of my life and all weekend long away from my kids. And I desperately wanted $1,000. I mean, that's why we joined AdvoCare, for $1,000 so that I could quit making cookies. But right here, this is one of our new rock stars. This is Tammy and Russ, and Tammy is Reese Cup's teacher at school. And, I dripped AdvoCare on her over several months. I had to build a relationship first with her, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later. But what I love is I told her from the very beginning, I said, Tammy, this is not about hiding behind products. You have got to let people know why you're doing AdvoCare. And I love it. We do mixers together all the time. And she, right from the beginning, man, she is a bold woman. And she says, you know what? I am a teacher and I love being a teacher, but I want to retire after 30 years instead of 35 because they have they've restructured teachers the way that they can retire now. And so she would have to work an extra 5 years, and she doesn't want to. And her husband's self-employed, and, she's got big dreams. And so her goal, her why, is to someday make about an extra, I think it's $2,700 someday in AdvoCare so that she can retire in 8 years with 30 years in instead of having to work another 5. Now, what I love about AdvoCare is I know that her why is going to keep growing and evolving as she earns that income and sets new dreams because, again, I only got involved for $1,000. And when that happened, my new why became about getting out of debt and getting my kids to Disney for the first time. So your why is going to change, but you have to share it with people. You have to connect with their hearts. You cannot hide behind the products. Because when you share why you're doing AdvoCare, their guard is going to come down. Their skepticism, their criticism, it is going to come down. Because here's what's going to happen. When you share why, you are sharing hope. You are sharing our best product without coming out and saying it to them, which is the opportunity. And they can infer from you sharing your why, which is money driven, that, hey, oh my gosh, Tammy wants to make an extra $2,700. Man, that'd be kind of nice to bring in that kind of money someday. And they may not let you in on it that time when you share your why, but I guarantee you've planted a seed and you've put something in their belly that's going to stir around, and you just never know when they might want to see more. So you've got to be honest and be transparent with people. All right, I will boldly wear my AdvoCare colors and represent with integrity. Guys, I remember right when I got involved, I got rid of my purse. I started carrying around an AdvoCare backpack. I always had Spark and bottled water and an Impact magazine with me. I did not care if people were going to laugh at me. I saw people giggling, at the football field when I showed up in an AdvoCare shirt, and I didn't care because those people were not going to Cashland. Those people weren't telling their kids no for, $5 to buy a book at the book fair. And so, I wore those colors proudly because I knew that logo could provide for my family. And, I quit wearing, honestly, I would pack an AdvoCare shirt, and as soon as I got off work, I would put it on, and every night, I would wear that shirt. And right here, these are two rock stars on my team, Dawn and Renee Lawrence. And I tell you what, they have something else on that I want you to know that you need to have on, and that is a smile. Because people are ultimately buying you, and you have to be a person that attracts other people. And I didn't know Don Lawrence, and he was our photographer that was a referral, and we left our house that day very intentional. I knew whoever this guy was that I was sharing AdvoCare with him that day. I knew he'd need a spark after, having to keep up with my family. But, we went there intentional. We were just multitasking AdvoCare into our life. And as soon as I met Don Lawrence and I saw that smile, I thought, oh my gosh, he would be amazing. He is so warm and inviting. And, people notice that. And so definitely have a smile on your face, wear your colors, and know that when you're wearing those colors, you are representing Advocare. And so, don't make stupid choices like going into a Starbucks wearing an Advocare shirt, or posting pictures of you on Facebook, drinking alcohol and being, obnoxious, because, that's just not very professional. And, again, this is just me, my honest opinion. I'm not telling you how to run your business, but you will not see pictures of me doing stupid things on Facebook. Now, I did before Advocare, but once I got involved with Advocare, I saw Facebook as a way to build my business and really brand myself as a person of positivity, which is who I am and which is very aligned with what Advocare represents. So be a person of integrity. I will boldly but kindly ignore the critics and haters. And guys, these are my amazing parents right there. God love them to death. But I'm here to tell you, they were some of my worst critics in the beginning. And I love my mom and dad, but you know what? They've never even tried a spark. In the beginning, I got the lecture about getting involved in one of those things. And I'll never forget, we were sitting at dinner and, just a couple months in the business, and I was so excited and sharing Advocare, and just the look on my dad's face was just, he was just so disappointed that I would do something like this. And I remember being frustrated and deflated, but I thought, you know what? I love my parents and I respect my parents. And I'm just going to extract the things from them that I know will help me build this business, but I can't let them get in the way of providing for my family. Because again, I'm a big girl. I have to pay my own bills. I have to pay for my kids' college someday. I had to take ownership, and I believed in Advocare. And so I did not let their opinions get in the way. And I'm here to tell you, one of my best friends, and actually a lot of my friends, have never joined Advocare. And guys, you just have to love them anyways and move on and find people that do want, to be a part of Advocare. And that means you're going to have to make some new friends. And I'll talk about that in a minute too. But your friends and family are going to be the most critical and skeptical. And you just have to understand that. And maybe they'll come around, I did give my dad BioTools for a little wrist injury that he had, but it has now expired. So he still hasn't tried it, but that's okay. I love my mom and dad. All right, I will boldly share all of the options of Advocare with people. Guys, this is so important. I know a lot of people, they come in, they're broke, just like I am. They need income, and they see that 40%, and they're like salivating, like, oh my gosh, I can make 40%. That's huge. But I'm telling you what, don't do that. Share it, but you need to share the other three options too. You are not in control of, deciding who gets to know what options. You have to be a person of integrity, and you need to let people know that they have choices and options with Advocare, and that's what makes us so awesome. And that really, the fifth relationship is that thanks but no thanks. And I think if you always let people have an out, then you don't come across as so salesy and that you're trying to take advantage of them. So I have always, even from the beginning, said, hey, Advocare may not be for you, and that's okay. We love the products. We're excited, about what this is going to do for our family. And if it's not for you, that's okay. But what if it is? And so here are the options that you have. And so, I know that retail customer, that 40%, like I said, is enticing, but did you know that's actually the least way we get paid in Advocare? Over time, if you build this the right way by sharing all of the options, you will see that I am absolutely correct about that. And, and I just think too, when you do what's best for other people, and that is sharing all of their choices, then you will be rewarded in the end. And so, we have always spoken with Strength about, anyone that gets on products, we always share with Strength about being a distributor. And I always say, as soon as the word distributor comes out of my mouth, I always say, listen, It's not about selling Advocare. It's what's best for you. You get almost $60 worth of products. You get to be in control of your ordering. You get to, get a discount of at least 20% every time you order. There's no auto ships. There's no minimums. I've always spoken that with strength. And then I always ask them too, hey, especially if they're getting on a 24-day challenge, who do you know that might want to get on products with you and do the challenge with you? Because if you place a $500 retail order, I can help you lock in at the 25% discount level instead of the 20. And then what that does, you guys, is it sets them up for building to advisor, because you already know that these people are going to fall in love with the products. And even though they'll tell you that they don't want the business, or they don't want to share Advocare, they might a couple weeks later, when they're feeling amazing. And so having spoken boldly that $500 option with strength, not only are you setting them up for that possibility when you call and check on them again, but you're also promoting an incredible thing of duplication, because people are going to do or not do what you do. And this is a business of duplication. So I guarantee if you do that, you will someday hear people in your organization duplicating that on down. So, the third option, of course, is just, helping people understand that as they feel amazing, they have a gift and they can share it with other people and help them feel as amazing as they do. And in the, return, get to grow their discount. And then, of course, always sharing that fourth option. And, even if people don't want the business, I still speak with that with strength. And, let them know, hey, if you've got several people in your family that need to get on products, this is $900 worth of products you're going to get for free, not to mention lock in at the 40% discount level. So, of course, letting them know about the business. I mean, our best product is the business opportunity. So again, share all the options, you guys. Number 6, I will boldly funnel people through the success system. Guys, if Advocare starts and stops with you, you'll never grow a team. You are the preview and your leaders are the movie. And I'm telling you what, even though we're diamond leaders, I am very strategic and very intentional. And I always, always, always promote all 3 of my amazing upline leaders. The Millers, the Varvels, the Younts. I mean, all of our new advisors know them. I mean, have a relationship with them already. That is so important. To get people, onto whoever it is that your mentor and your sponsor is. And, it's just so important, especially for duplication, because however people are brought in, if you bring people in without using the success system, then guess what? They're going to do the same thing. And the success system is how you are going to have success in Advocare, point blank. I mean, just like my number 1, you have to share every day, your other huge part of building this business is just funneling people through the success system. And that could be through a 3-way call. That could be through a 2-on-1. That could be getting people on a webinar. That could be getting people to a mixer. Whatever method you choose. And for different people, it might be different options. But that is something that will be a learned skill over time. But here's the beauty of it. The quicker you're able to do that, the faster and more you will learn about Advocare. Because here's the thing, when you get people through the success system, you are like a student teacher. You get to absorb and listen to people that have been doing this longer than you speak strength about Advocare. And so it is one of the best ways to learn more, quicker, and faster. But you have to be bold enough to speak that to people. And when they have questions, you need to say, hey, you know what? That's a great question. And I'm really new and I'm not sure. So I need to get my friend Jason Miller on the phone because he's been doing this a lot longer and has helped a lot of people. So what time today or tomorrow works good for you? And I'll get my friend Jason on the phone. Not what time, not will you, but, just being bold and just making it a natural next step. And, if they're finicky and if they act weird, I always say, lead with the success system, fall back on distributor, if they're people that want to get on products. Because speaking strength about distributor, guess what? That's kind of like getting people through the success system, but inadvertently. You know why? Because when you sponsor someone as a distributor who says they don't want the business, guess what happens? They go into the database of your leader and they go into your system, and really they are cyberly, I just made that word up, they are cyberly introduced to the success system and they don't even know it yet, because your leader now has access to them and can call them and say, hey, you know what? We're advocates that care for others. There's an S on there for a reason, and I'm another person here to support you. And in doing that, they can, offer assistance and maybe plant a seed with them about, seeing more of Advocare. All right, number 7. And I'm going to wrap this up here in about 5 or 10 minutes. I will boldly lead my product users and distributors on a journey. Guys, this is the beautiful Lori and awesome Dave Peer. They were strangers that I sparked at a cookout. I was 3 weeks in, had products with me. It's so important to have products with you. And she asked me what I wanted to drink. I said, I'm good. I'm going to have a Spark. And that sparked an entire conversation and me sharing a Spark. And she made it clear that her husband would not be on board with her doing this as a business. But here's what happened. I spoke distributor with strength, because that's what was best for Lori, to help her get a discount on her products, not for me to make the most off of her taking advantage of that 40%. And what happened was, over months of each week, inviting her to a mixer, letting her know about a webinar each week, inviting her to see more, just like we have to keep circling back around to our prospects, we have to keep circling back around and leading our product users and distributors on a journey. And so I started building a relationship and inviting her to go hiking, and got into her life and dripping Advocare. And about 4 months in, she decided she was ready to do the business. Today, they are diamond leaders, our first ones. And so don't ever, when your product users or your distributors say, oh, I'm just interested in products, I'm telling you what, be bold and don't take that as a final answer. You need to be bold, and once a week, educate them on a way to plug in and see more. And I'm telling you what, I don't know if I've ever had anybody say, quit sending me stuff. And again, it just shows that you're committed. It shows that you're all in and that you are serious about doing this. All right. I will boldly do whatever it takes to plug into important opportunities. Now, that top right picture, that is me at my first success school, along with 2 amazing ladies in my life. I had 2 people go with me. I was about 5.5 months. I had just pinned silver and, had just gone to Disney. So I had a new why, which was really getting out of debt and getting our bills caught up. And, still didn't see, before that trip really where this was going to take me. But I got to success school and I saw the heartbeat of Advocare. I saw real people like me, hardworking, burning the candle at both ends, drowning in debt, no time with their family, who were coming home and finding hope and just having all and paying off debt. I saw so many great things at that success school. And so did these 2 ladies. And let me tell you, it was a pain in the butt to get there. Brett couldn't go. I was scared to death to get on a plane because, yes, I had a fear of flying too. And we had 4 kids at 3 different places. Our parents couldn't help watch. Neither could Brett's parents. So different friends were helping. Brett had a huge wrestling tournament. One of us, I think, slept on the floor. It was crazy, but we went. And we went because Jason spoke to me about the importance of being there. And I have always been coachable and teachable and listened to what the successful people have said. And, I spoke that with strength down to Lori and Jen. There's a whole funny story with that and how I got Lori there. I did a 3-way call with the airline and her, and thank God Dave was in bed. That's all I'm going to say. But, got them there. And then to think a couple years later, we got to share our story up on that stage. And so I'm only showing you that because that's what's possible for you. You go to success school, you see the bigger picture, and someday through being bold and helping others and making no excuses, you can be up on that stage. Hopefully you don't cry and about pass out like I did. All right, number 9. I will boldly take time to build relationships with other people. Guys, this is so important. All about Advocare is annoying. This is a people business, a family business, a relationship business. You need to get to know the people, in your organization that want this. And you've got to get to know their families and their, couple of people who want to build a business, their families, and you've got to fight for them. And one of the best ways that I've been able to really fight for families is by getting in living rooms, by just getting in their lives, meeting their families, and then, meeting someone in their life that maybe wants to lock arms and make an extra $500 to $1,000 a month and getting in their living rooms. Brett and I just got off. We've got one more tomorrow night. We've been doing an entire month of Advo Mixer Madness. And guys, I was getting in living rooms right around the time I hit silver, and I may have even gotten in some before that, but it is so important, to just build those relationships. It shows people that you're fighting for them. And guys, people don't know what they don't know. Again, that's a part of you. You got to face the fear and just get over the fact that someone may not, people may not show up. It might only be a couple of people. You focus on the ones that are there. Because I'm here to tell you, one of my first mixers was me, Jason, Lori Peer, and an amazing woman also, named Amy Wolf. And, today Amy Wolf is a 3-star gold leader and Lori is a diamond. And they were the only two at my mixer, and we sat around the kitchen table. So you have got to take ownership of that and, really get into people's hearts, sharing Advocare. And all you need is an Impact magazine and the DVD. Keep it super simple, and your heart and a smile and a willingness to help others. All right. I will boldly educate and teach others how to do the basics of this business. Guys, this business is simple. Take product, wear your colors, share every day, and use the success system and just rinse and repeat, right? And get to success school. And, it's not that hard. And so from the very beginning, I have always believed in just educating people. This is how you build to advisor. These are the options of Advocare. This is how we earn income. This is what, helping people understand how we get paid, helping people understand how to get someone on a 3-way call, helping people understand the importance of getting to success school. And so, getting nose to nose with them on a couch, in a living room, at Panera, I don't care where, I've always believed in the power of this. And so, I don't know, just kind of do it as needed. This is a new group that we have that we're fired up about. And, they've already got some people interested. So we just said, you know what? They've all got questions. I'm just going to come over and, got my little dry erase board and walked them through, how to build to advisor, how to win a rookie bonus. Those are simple, basic things. And if you don't know those things, then reach out to your leader and ask them to go with you and help you educate people, because that is so important. All right, I will boldly be intentional and recruit business builders. Guys, I have always had an eye of the tiger from day one of building this business, just like kind of, Jason did with us. And Richard says this all the time, a lot of people do Advocare for products. And, I wish everybody did the business side, but, the reality is that not everybody wants to build an Advocare business, and that's okay. But, you need to look for those people, when you make your list, who do you know that's already really busy? Because that means they're around a lot of people. Who do you know that's already a hard worker? Because, the reality is you've got to be good at, you have to work. This is not a get rich quick thing. Who do you know that is looking for big changes and is willing to be coachable and teachable and plug in and do, get to success school and do the things that need to be done? Those, are the people that, you should be looking for as business builders. And, these are our 3 newest couples, I believe, and always working with 3 at a time, and then helping them find 3 and then helping those 3 find 3. And, that's just going to help all these guys, build that Ruby organization over time. And it helps you from not losing your mind too much. But, it's so important, to share the business. And all of these three couples, we shared all the options of AdvoCare, but we've had all of them on our heart, to lock arms and join forces with us and do the business of AdvoCare. And Reese's teacher, we dripped AdvoCare on her for 4 months before we, really shared AdvoCare. Matt and Marianne, 2 years. Even got them through the Success System a couple years ago, but it was not the right time for them. This is Brett's awesome friend from college, Mark, and his wife, Laura, transport nurse. He's former military. And, just wasn't the right time. Brett kept sharing AdvoCare with him. And, it's never about when you want people to do AdvoCare. Like I said, it's about not quitting so that you're there. And we are so grateful for these three couples. So, be bold about sharing the business, because when you're bold about sharing the business, you will attract people who want to do the business. All right, my last one as I get ready to wrap this up. But, I will boldly fight for my family by respecting and strengthening other families. And guys, not everybody is going to want to move, super fast in AdvoCare, and so you have to love people where you have to take the time to sit down and ask them, what are your goals? What is it that you want out of AdvoCare? And being bold enough to tell them what it's going to take to achieve that. If someone wants to make life-changing money in AdvoCare, then they absolutely have to go to Success School. I have never missed a Success School ever. Neither has Lori or Jen. Jen just qualified Emerald a couple weeks ago, and Lori is a diamond. Like I said, we have never missed. And, they boldly speak that with strength with their team. And, so we have to be honest and bold with those people that say that they want this, letting them know what it takes and letting them know that they have to share every day, and even maybe helping hold them accountable. Those three couples I just showed you, every day I'm asking them, to show me the three people that they're sharing with. I'm helping them hold themselves accountable. And so you have to really, get out there, the 80-20 rule, pour 80% of your time into the 20% who is getting you in front of people, who's getting you on the phone with people, who's doing this business the right way, who's sharing all the parts of AdvoCare, who's being coachable and teachable and plugging in to team calls and getting to events. Because otherwise you're going to be really frustrated if you're spending so much time, with people that their actions just aren't, meeting up with their desires. So, the great thing is that, by helping other families and loving them where they're at, you're going to be able to just help uplift them and enjoy life at a much greater level. And, I just love that second guiding principle. We respect and strengthen families. And, there's nothing greater than seeing, my product users and my distributors get healthy and get off the couch and play with their kids again and get active in their lives. But I also love the families that want to run with me. And I love locking arms and getting in their space and getting to know what their goals are and really going to work for them. Because when you go to work for other people, I'm telling you what, it is just one of the most rewarding feelings to see the impact, that has on another family. And what that does is it instills in them the pay it forward mentality. Because here's what'll happen. Your passion and your drive for their success will fill them up, and they will just pour that right into the people in their lives. And that is a beautiful thing. And so, this picture here, I think I told you how 4 months in, that was our next why, was to get to Disney. And that was when we drove home, I told Brett, I said, man, what a magical trip. We have never, we've always dreamed about taking our kids to Disney, and it was even better than we could have ever imagined to see their excitement and to know that we paid for that trip, not one of our parents who felt sorry for us. And, I told Brett, I said, you know what? I am going to someday, I know we're going to have success. I know this is going to be bigger, and, we're going to fight. We're going to keep fighting for this opportunity, because wouldn't it be awesome to take a family with us someday And, you know, this picture up in the top right, that is the first year we went. And I'm bummed I don't, actually, the other family has taken this picture. But, you know, this was us that first year, or that's our second year in AdvoCare. We got to pay it forward and take a family with us. Last year, we got to take 2 families. This year, we're taking 3 families. Guys, the family that just was looking for $1,000 a month, you know, today lives life on our terms. You know, AdvoCare paid us over $62,000 last month, which is insane. But money does not bring you choices. I mean, sorry, geez, I just said that wrong. Money does not bring you happiness. It brings you choices, and it allows you to do some extraordinary things for other people. And when Charlie Regis and those guiding principles get into your heart and soul, I'm telling you what, you will be as passionate as I am about paying it forward and doing amazing things for other people, because that's why Charlie started this company, you know, to create an army of hope heroes and difference makers that would make families all across this country realize just how special and precious life is, and that every day should be spent living life to the fullest around those that you love. And so, you know, my last slide here, you know, I will be all in so that I can get out of my current situation and help other people do the same. I mean, you know what, guys, that's what it really boils down to. You got to get out of your own way. You got to get out of, you know, the excuses, and you just need to be all in with this. And you need to understand that there are going to be ups and downs, and it is going to be frustrating, but it is going to be so worth it. And, you know, I don't have time to go into Blake's story, but, you know, just seeing this picture of my family in New York City, you know, someday, mark my words, this little guy right here, you are going to see his name on a Broadway show. And someday you're going to see me posting on Facebook about my son Blake, who is on Broadway, all because of his mom and dad, who were bold enough to do something different, who were bold enough to fight no matter what and never give up, so that they could afford dance classes, so that they could afford to put him in an extraordinary school around like-minded people who are passionate about ballet, so that he could go to New York City and someday go to Juilliard and be on Broadway. All of those things are because of our boldness, and you have that choice. You have that same capability to be bold, fight for this, know that you have your hands on a gift, and go to work and fight for it. And I just thank you guys so much for your time tonight. And you know, I hope this was worthwhile. You know, I will tell you that I know sometimes maybe people get, especially new ones, get on these trainings and they're expecting to see all the facts and the figures and the breakdown. You know, that's not what this training is about tonight. This is about equipping you mentally with the toughness and the assertiveness to go out there and understand that, you know, when you have those moments, you have to remind yourself, this is not about you. Get over yourself. This is about the bigger picture, which is your family and other people's families. And your fears and your lack of being bold are just holding you back. But more importantly, they're holding back so many other people. So you just need to suck it up and, you know, put a smile on your face and take this business one day at a time and get to Advo Nation. And I hope to see you guys in Cowboy Stadium in August. Thank you so much. God bless all of you guys, and have a great night.